Hello, troopers, and welcome to the 501st Com Chat. I'm Chloe, and
I'm
this is
Will.
Will.
How are we doing,
How are we
guys?
doing? So since last week, we've had a lot of new news. We've had 6 episodes of Tales of the Jedi, which we're going to break down for you guys today.
We
Also,
had an Acolyte new trailer.
we did. Yeah,
There's so much to talk
there's
about.
a lot. We saw the Phantom Menace in the cinema, so we'll
Yes, we
tell you
got a
about
lot.
that.
We got
We
lots.
obviously had May the 4th, so I mean, a lot of stuff we knew was going to get released on May the 4th. Because May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
Bit of a belated one from us, but yep. It's been a fun week.
Yeah.
We've got lots to talk about. So
Lots to talk about.
let's get into some news.
So we'll start with our personal news.
Yes.
So as Chloe said on last Friday.
Saturday.
No, it was
May
last
the
Friday.
4th.
Yes, but last Friday.
Oh yeah.
So last Friday we went and saw the Phantom Menace
Yes,
on the big screen,
we
which
did.
was very cool. I was sat there during the whole Duel of the Fates, like, this is so good.
So we got to see Duel of the Fates and the pod race on the big screen.
It was incredible.
Also, there was an Acolyte
clip.
clip that was exclusive to people that went to watch the Phantom Menace.
Yes, I haven't seen it online, so I think it has been a case of if you went and saw the film, you got to see this clip, which I think is how it should be. You know, it's an exclusive clip.
It makes it worth, everyone that's watched it. It's like, it makes it a bit more special.
I will say I am very excited. As Chloe is well aware, I've become a bit of a High Republic fan recently. I've listened to the audiobooks of, I think, 3 of the novels.
Yep.
I've read however many comics. I'm doing it like phase 1 and all that.
Yeah, I've seen what you've read so far, and it's a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot to this. I didn't realise there was so much High Republic content.
Yes, and I even decided to replay the story of Jedi Survivor because that has High Republic elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have agreed, it might be next week, it might be the week after, but we're going to do a episode just on the High Republic to give you guys a better idea of what it is before we see the Acolyte next month. Yeah. So that'll be good. I'm very excited for it. The little clip that we saw was very, very good, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I know not very much about the High Republic, so I'm excited to find out everything. But just from seeing this trailer, you can see this is Jedi at their peak. They can sense things before they happen, and it's just
Yes, this is peak, like you said, peak Jedi. That is how I describe the High Republic era. It is peak Jedi, shall we say? Yeah. But we're gonna save all that for another episode. So yeah. But the trailer looked very good. We got a little bit more info. I do have some photos to show you, but in the meantime...
Also, thought I'd just point out, so everyone that went to see the Phantom Menace, obviously we've seen online all these buckets and cups, and I'm sure they're just in America because there was no sign of them in any of the theatres over here, and every video that we saw was always in dollars, so I don't know if we can get them in the UK, guys. But...
So if any of you know where to get the Phantom Menace popcorn bucket and soda cup, let us know.
Because they look really cool. And I really wanted to get one, but they didn't have them at the cinema, so I don't know if they are just in America, but
we'll find out. Hopefully, if you guys know, let us know. Yes. So on May the 4th, we were having a bit of a chilled day.
Yeah.
We were going to Smith's to see if we could pick up any of the free little build your own little Lego X-Wing.
Yeah. So I found out on a TikTok that basically Smith's Toys, if you guys don't know Smith's, it's a toy shop here in the UK. They were giving out free Lego, basically. So it was like a little polybag set with a TIE fighter. Yeah, and then you had the choice to make either a little Yoda or a X-Wing, like a little mini build. and they had like pieces there and little instructions. And anything that you built, you could take home and keep for free. So I didn't find this out until like midday on when was it? Saturday. Midday Saturday, and obviously they've been open since 9 o'clock. So by the time we got there was like barely any pieces left, and like I could see there was no red bits for the X-wing. So I was like, we're not going to be able to build that.
And there was no.
But we tried. And you know, well done to you guys if any of you went there and you built some, because they did look really cute.
Yeah.
But
outside we
saw something very cool.
A couple of 501st stormtroopers looking very cool.
Yeah. They did notice your t-shirt.
Yes. Again, this is my new
Bad Batch t-shirt.
Do you like it, my little wrecker? I've seen a couple of people on TikTok with it, and I was just like, I want it. It looks great.
And the stormtrooper was like, I know that guy, and then he was saying, "Oh, did you guys watch the finale?" Like, they were very nice.
Yeah,
and I'm very regretting not wearing a Star Wars t-shirt, and I was wearing one of your hoodies because it was very windy that day. But you know, we got a picture with them, and they were really cool. And they're UK Garrison, so these are the people that do all the stuff for charity, and they've got like screen accurate cosplay. So definitely very cool.
Yes, so
and unexpected. Like, we went there to get some Lego, and we ended up meeting these guys. So very cool.
But yeah, shout out to these two. I don't know who they are, but
yeah,
I would if I saw them again, I'd be like, hey, it's you two.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
maybe we'll see them at the con.
Yes, that'd be cool. So yeah, that's really it for our personal.
Also, wow, actually, because it was my birthday on Friday, this one here managed to locate me a Padme Funko from Attack of the Clones, which is in like Geonosis outfit, which is my favorite version of Padme. I won't go into it because I'll be chatting all day, but I love it, and I'm very thankful. Yeah, should I show it to them just in case?
Okay. While you're doing that, I will also mention there was also a deal that we did mention last week.
I'll show them as well.
We got a couple of Funkos this week.
We did.
So this is the Geonosis Padme.
I love her. She's so cool, and she got the little like pretzel hair. Love it.
Very cool. And I know you were very happy with that one. So. She goes with the Attack of the Clones Anakin that we were able to get.
A little picture on our...
Yes, if you want to go check out the pictures, check them out on our Instagram. But yeah, we got actually there's a lot of them. Do you really want to show them?
Well, there's three.
So you have two night troopers. So here are the two night troopers.
So we have one that has kind of like a grey beard, and then the other one which has like a big gold bit on his eye.
Yeah.
And they're both different as well. Like, they've got different like wrapping on.
Yeah, so it's not like they've just used the same.
And they're holding guns different. Like, they're not just the same figure that's like been repainted.
No, and if you go and look at the pictures on our Instagram, they go really well with the re-release Thrawn Funko from Rebels, because the original one is like 200 quid, but the one that they released recently like looks even better in my opinion. So yeah,
they go really well with Enoch and Thrawn, those ones. We did a little picture on our Instagram, and also we have Balin's skull as well.
I wanted to get a Balin when when I was watching the show, and I was like, he's so cool. I was like, I want a Balin.
It's really hard to get on camera, but his hair is like ombre, so it's not just all one solid color like the Funkos usually are. Like, it has that kind of like salt and pepper. You kind of see it a little bit there. Like, so it's not just all one color. So it's really nice, and his saber is orange.
Yeah.
So for those that on the photos it looks red, it is actually orange.
But yeah, so that was our shall we say?
Haul for the week.
Yes. Well, I mean, the Funkos were on and offer. I think, like we said, we mentioned it last week. I think
Yeah, so it was 3 Funkos
for 2.
for the price of 2. So basically, you get one free, but you do have to pay postage.
So we basically worked. It came to 30 quid. So it worked out as
About £10 each.
they were £10 each,
Yeah,
basically. So,
if you count postage.
so happy days.
Yeah.
I like them, and
Very
yeah.
good.
So yeah,
I like them.
that's about it for the.
Personally.
Yes.
Yeah.
So moving on to products, Hasbro has announced a lot of
Re-releases.
yes, especially with helmets. Now, starting off with the Boba,
Mhm.
because even when I first met you, like a little while, like over a year ago now, you know, it's like you wanted this Boba Fett helmet.
I liked the Book of Boba Fett one as well.
I thought you wanted this one more.
I
Because
don't
this is
I like
like
them
the
both.
Return of the Jedi, like
Yeah,
scratched armor look one.
yeah.
So they are re-releasing this one. This one is on Hasbro Pulse as a pre-order. They seem to have been doing that a lot with a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah.
But
I think this one is the Empire Strikes Back one because he's got the yellow kind of lines on his helmet.
Yeah.
Whereas in Return of the Jedi, they're a bit more red.
I think it looks really good, to be honest. I like how it looks, and
I love all the different like colours on it, and it looks all worn and old, even though it's new.
Yeah.
I love it.
But I like the fact that they're re-releasing this.
Yeah, because this has never made sense to me. Like, with regards to when they discontinue product, it's like, you know, they bring out Stormtrooper helmet, but then they'll discontinue it. And it's like, but there's always going to be people that want Stormtroopers or Darth Vader or Boba Fett, you know? Like, it's not something that they should discontinue. So I'm glad that they're bringing it back. They are also bringing back the Stormtrooper from Rogue One and the Darth Vader from Kenobi as well.
Yeah, so again, like I said, they are doing a lot of re-releases, and we're going to get into it in a minute, but they're also doing some re-releases of some Black Series, which I cannot
Black
wait.
Series figures.
Yes, and I can't wait to talk about. It's going to be good.
Yep.
So with the Puck sort of picks, you know, that they have been doing, they've had a Vader, they did a Darth Maul. I think they're doing a Mando one as well.
Yeah, they're doing a Mando.
So you got a Ahsoka Tano one here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a
little box one.
Ahsoka Tano in the box. Again, I love this little art where it's like the Puck, and it's like the hollow version of it.
Yeah, it's like if they were a bounty.
Yeah, as if it literally. So if you had like a little collection of them, it'd look quite cool.
Yeah, so it's a holocron.
And they have, if you notice as well, they have different prices. So this Ahsoka is 40,000. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
40,000 credits. And you got a Han Solo.
20,000 credits.
20,000 credits. So
I never noticed that before. Yeah.
That's clever, though, isn't it?
Makes sense. Yeah. I just thought it was like Aurebesh writing, but now I realise it's the credit symbol.
Yeah. But yeah,
Very
so
cool.
that was quite cool. So Lego.
I love this one. You not so much.
Okay.
But I really love the minifigs. But anyway, so this one, right?
Can I say first?
Yeah.
This was rumored to be the Death Star playset.
Oh yeah.
With the like same figures basically, but they've changed it, or it was it was always a rumor that it was a Death Star playset, not an Imperial Star Destroyer playset.
I think it was originally rumored we were gonna get like a Dark Side Rey, a Darth Jar Jar.
That's still coming. No, that's still coming.
Is that a different set?
Yes, that's still coming.
Well, I remember with that set they were saying, oh, there might be a Cal Kestis, but I think this is a set with Cal Kestis. That might be another set in the future. I'm not sure. That's just
I will go into the. You've reminded me. I will go into that in a bit.
Okay, but this one. So we've got a Star Destroyer. Now it's a smaller one, so it's not the scale of like UCS.
It's a playset.
Yeah.
Let me just say that it's a playset. It's not one like the ship collection that we've got of like the Invisible Hand or the Star Destroyer, like
Yeah.
the Super Star Destroyer, or the UCS sets.
Yeah.
This is a play set, which means it looks like a Star Destroyer, but you can open it up like so, and have like a little room where they can play, and you've got like Vader in here.
Yeah.
So again, you really like it. I'm not a fan of the play sets anyway.
No.
Even the Venator, I don't like the play set of it because it's like, it is a toy.
Yeah.
I get that. So, it is meant to open up and stuff. Whereas I like the mini scale ships and the UCSs because they're a lot more detailed and a little bit more like, wow.
I mean, I think this one is priced at probably, I think it's about 160-ish. It's a June 1st, or is it August 1st release? I think it might be August 1st release. But I do really like the minifigs.
Yes,
so
I will agree with you on that. So you have a Vader.
Right.
You have an Imperial officer.
I think this Vader is the same one that was in the Tantive 4 set that we've just got.
I think the Vader is pretty much the same thing that you'll get in any Vader set recently.
Yeah.
I think it'll be the same one with the Vader mech as well.
Yeah.
So you got like an Imperial in a black outfit.
Yeah.
We got an Imperial in a grey outfit with a headset. Stormtrooper. We have a Imperial with the sort of helmet, like one of the Death Star technicians. And then we actually have a Death Star technician with the special helmet that that's like fires the laser and the thing. And then we get the really cool Cal Kestis 25th anniversary fig.
Yeah.
And again,
like I
said,
really
he looks very cool. And
being that we have the BD1 set, we have a little minifig of BD1, and it would go really well with him. So
there maybe if it's a fig that we get by himself, and we just put a little BD1 on
because technically we don't really I know we don't really have the technicians, but we have the Stormtrooper, we have a Vader, and you're not a fan of the size of this Star Destroyer.
No, it's a lot of money for like a play set, something like that.
Yeah, I would think, we could maybe save up the money for like a better Star Destroyer. But
better Star Destroyer, I like the sound of that.
I do really like the Cal Kestis, and being that we've played the games like Fallen Order and Survivor, it's like I would be interested in getting him.
So maybe we get the figure by itself.
Yeah.
I've also been looking recently. I'm almost tempted. I kind of like a TIE pilot because I've got like a Scout Trooper, Stormtrooper, Snow Trooper, AT-AT driver, checkpoint guard. The only one I'm really missing from the Stormtroopers is
the technicians.
Well, no, a pilot. I haven't got a TIE pilot. Yeah. So maybe that's one that we get in the future. But so there's these ones.
Actually, I have a TIE pilot one.
Oh, well, there you go. I don't need to get a TIE pilot then.
Yeah. It's one of the older ones, but it's still a TIE pilot.
Still a TIE pilot. If it still looks good, that's all we care about. So that's that one. Looks quite good. That's what it looks like on the inside, as you can see.
Yeah. I think this is a good set, though, for like people wanting to recreate scenes and stuff.
If you want to play with it as a toy, if you want to play with Lego as a toy,
younger Star Wars fans, amazing set for them.
Yeah. But so that was that one.
Many kids' Christmas list.
Yes. So I also want to get we haven't got it yet, but I want to get the Kellerin Beck Speeder Chase one because I won the Kellerin Beck. Yeah, it was on.
We wanted to get the main 4th deal, and it was out of stock.
I know. Bugger.
No.
My lord.
So we have lots of Black Series figures that are being re-released along with the helmets.
Also, can I just say I don't know if this is a confirmed image of the package and the figure. I think this is what he looked like.
Yeah.
And they're using it as an example, but
so this is the older packaging, like the really old packaging, I think. Because I've got the Padme figure, and I've seen like Darth Revan's and stuff in this packaging. So this is the old one. But I think the figure, it will stay the same, but it might be in one of those like archive package
I think it
ones.
Nice. Yep. And it's
But I don't know
they've
if they're-
announced a load of figures, not just Rex, but
Yeah, there's
we're
a lot.
showing Rex as the example because this is the one everyone's going to want. We're going to get this one as well. You know, like the fact that this one, if you go on eBay or anything like that,
I've
you
been
are
looking,
paying
guys.
well over £100 for this figure.
Is
So
hard to get hold of. Even the Bad Batch one with the little like poncho.
Yeah.
So expensive.
it's gone up
so
so
rare
much money, isn't it?
because everyone wants Captain Rex, and they've all been discontinued. So it's like Hasbro, I think, are taking a leaf out of like what people want, and
Yeah.
they're like, right, let's bring back some stuff that people are
Yeah,
asking
absolutely.
stores for. You know, like
You know, so we're getting a Captain Rex again. Again, there was like Commander Fox was on the list.
Yeah.
Which looked really quite cool from
There
the
was a
original
lot.
one.
Yeah.
There's a lot, but we wanted to show the Rex one as an example and give a little shout out to Yak Face because we sort of get all our news from Yak Face. So shout out them. But the sort of rumored or date that this store has been given is October this year. So keep your eyes open for this one. We have Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Yeah, this
Attack
is a
of the
new
Clones.
figure.
Yep.
So Ki-Adi-Mundi Black Series.
It's a bit weird how his lightsaber's red, but it is for the packaging because each film or show has a different color, don't they?
I guess they've made
So Attack of the Clones is the red, but it just looks a bit weird. It's like Sith
does.
Ki-Adi-Mundi, but
It does.
Darth Mundi.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, you know, Black Series looks quite detailed.
It definitely looks like Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Yeah, definitely. Now we have a free pack of droids.
Yeah.
Gaming Greats.
This is another Black Series collection. This is one of the bigger ones, like the 3 packs.
And this is from Jedi
Ooh.
Survivor.
It says Fallen Order.
Where?
On the box.
They're not.
I don't know.
No, right. Okay, this is a mistake because I have just played Jedi Survivor, and these droids are in the markings of the Bedlam Raiders from Jedi Survivor. I promise you, especially that B2, the amount of guys.
I was going to say, I played Fallen Order and I don't remember these in.
Yes, I'm telling you, Jedi Survivor.
Maybe this isn't
the
final
Bedlam
package.
Raiders have basically took over a Luca crate hole and converted all these droids into the Bedlam Raider army, shall we say. But I'm telling you, that is Jedi Survivor.
So when it says Fallen Order,
you're wrong, mate.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. We have some Hot Toys. We got this new Sabine from Ahsoka.
Sabine.
Again, how detailed on the face, like it's got a little mole. Like it looks like Natasha.
Yeah.
The hair looks a bit like icing on a cake, not gonna lie, but still, you know, from a distance as a figure, it looks quite good. There is quite a few bits that come with it.
I already had a Sabine in a Hot Toy, but I don't know, maybe it was Rebels.
Well, this was like a pre-order, so I'm assuming it's a new one, but
unless it was one that we'd seen pictures of, but it wasn't available for pre-order
maybe.
before, I'm not sure.
But yeah, so you know,
But
you got the
very
like
cool,
lightsaber, and then you could even have like pistols.
Yeah.
So that's quite a cool one.
Very cool.
We have a Shadow Trooper
But it
with Dark Death.
environment.
So this one's like a red background, whereas the normal Stormtrooper was like the white background.
Yeah.
It's quite cool. I like the little bit of like sort of
Marks
like
on him.
scrapes on it, like the grey. But yeah, it looks quite a cool one again.
Yeah.
We have Legends, Luke Skywalker, Dark Empire.
So they're bringing lots of legends into
Hot Toys at the minute.
because we have Darth Revan and Starkiller, which we talked about last week.
Yes, and they had the two assassin droids as well.
Yep.
We
and
mentioned.
now we've got Luke Skywalker.
Yes, so this is basically Luke if he turned to
Are they
the
gonna
dark
bring
side.
Luke? The like clone of him.
They might do it.
Possibly.
But yeah, looks quite cool.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like Mark Hamill.
His hair, wow. Like it looks shiny.
It looks pristine.
That's very cool.
This is a bit of a weird one. This is Clone Trooper gold chrome version.
If you mix the Clone Trooper with C-3PO, this is what you get.
Yeah. So we had the Cody, which was like the silver version.
Yeah.
Like the chrome version, and now we got the gold chrome, just normal clone, so you could have it as phase 1 or phase 2. Comes with the jetpack.
Yeah.
Lots of customizable things, but I think of a bit of a weird one, this one, in my opinion. So we have also a poster for the Acolyte. So here we have like the main group. So we say of Jedi. We've got Vanestra Rowe from the comics here. Like I said, probably next week we'll do an episode on the High Republic.
Yeah.
And I will talk about some of the main characters in it.
Yeah.
I was also saying to you as well, I've not seen a High Republic cosplayer yet.
There's got to be.
There must be one.
There's got to be some.
Maybe we get one of those on for some point. But yeah, no, I mean, I've never seen one, but they tend to be more sort of white and gold. But then as they sort of get closer to the Phantom Menace time, they sort of go to more browny, orangey. But I really like it, and I said to you about I wouldn't mind doing a High Republic Jedi cosplay. Yeah. Also, I know I'll mention it next week as well, but I've actually been doing on my Jedi Survivor playthrough. I've been doing a Cal Kestis High Republic run. So his lightsaber is white and gold. Yep. His robes is like all white, basically. Yep. Yeah, I thought it was quite cool. But yeah, so we got like, this really cool character poster. Like, I love this poster. I think it's great. Yeah. We got the main bad guy here, which we get a reveal of in the trailer. I have a better picture in the next one. Okay. But so this is probably the Acolyte, the Sith, the Return of the Sith. Yeah. He's got this really menacing mask on.
I know, I was gonna say it's probably like the most creepy thing in Star Wars.
But one thing that I will say, of all this poster, which looks incredible by the way, we have live action Jedi Vectors. Oh, so cool. Now, I was briefly mentioning these to you when we watched the trailer, and I was like, these are... Why the Jedi didn't keep these around, I have no idea. They're basically starfighters designed for the Jedi and can only be used by Jedi. Like, they have a lightsaber key that basically you put the lightsaber into the cockpit, into the controls, activate it, and that activates like the weapon system and all that. So these things are incredible, and I cannot wait to see them in live action.
What if they do like a Lego set one?
I'd have to buy it. Yeah. I love it. They're so cool. So here's the picture this is the best picture you're gonna get of it. Yeah. So here we have I can't remember his name.
The one from Squid Game.
Yes. Master. So this, as you can see from sort of his face and the way that he's positioned, there's a bit in the first trailer where this red sort of mist basically knocks the whole group of Jedi like back. And then in this trailer, he's like, "What are you?" Yeah. And then we get this like reveal of this Sith.
It's so creepy.
With almost like a teeth, like jaw on the mask that looks like a menacing smile. Yeah. I can't wait for it. Like, it just looks so menacing, and I cannot wait for the like combat in this. And
it does look very well like choreographed. Like the scene that we the little clip that we've seen on big screen, it just looks so like smooth. Like, every little movement, it's like, wow.
Again, like I don't want to go into detail because I want to save it for next week. But there's a bit where in the clip, May is attacking the Jedi Master, Inestra, I think. I don't think, is it Inestra?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, Inestra just doesn't fight back. She's literally just like dodging.
Yeah.
And it's all martial arts like sort of style. And I know that was the original sort of inspiration for like George Lucas with Star Wars. So I cannot wait for it. It's going to be very good.
It does look very like samurai.
Yeah. And it's just like, look at that.
Yeah.
Like, look at that mask.
So creepy.
I can't wait to see the cosplays of this guy. This is going to be...
Like if someone just like zoomed in on that picture, right? And then put like, I don't know, the Smiler Man or whatever, and like made it into a horror poster, you'd fool me. Like,
yeah, definitely.
It doesn't look like something out of Star Wars at all.
So this is, by the looks of it, our main protagonist.
Yeah.
And I believe he is a Sith, but
it's a Sith.
Don't have a word for it. So yeah. So now we go on. Tales of the Empire. Now, 6 episodes to go through. We're not going to talk about every little detail on them, but
we'd be here forever.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have preferred Morgan's story. I preferred Barris's, in my opinion, but it was still alright.
Yeah.
So we see. So basically, episode 1 is young Morgan with the like Night Sisters.
Yeah.
Episode 2, we see her basically becoming an ally with Thrawn.
Yeah. And
then episode 3, we see her like after the Empire's fallen, when the New Republic come to get her at Corvus. Was it Corvus?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Barriss Offee's little story was like her becoming an Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next episode was her as an Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final episode was her
like a bit of the time
coming out, you know, like basically her end, shall we say. But yeah, there's going to be spoilers ahead. So if you haven't watched it, which I'm surprised if you haven't, we do. So we start with the battle on Dathomir. I think in the Clone Wars, I think it's been like event has been called like the Dark Night on Dathomir or something, like Dathomir's Darkest Night or something.
Yeah.
And we see the Night Sisters fighting off the Separatist army led by Grievous.
Mm-hmm.
And I will admit, he is again terrifying in this episode. Like, this is the way that they've shown him in this tiny little clip. Like, I think he's only got probably about a minute screen time.
Yeah.
He's evil. Like, I wouldn't want to come across him.
No. He looks so much more scary than what he did in the Clone Wars.
But I think that was what they intended to do. They wanted to show, you know, to the Jedi and to everyone else in the Clone Wars, it's a little bit more friendly. But in this, we just see him on his like total destruction path. You know, there's a bit where we see as well how tough the droids are as well, because you know it's not like one of these light arrows kills them. You know, it takes a couple of goes.
Yeah. Like it's no easy task. It may be for a Jedi, but not for.
Yeah, and we see Merrin. Sorry, not Merrin. We see Morgan.
You got Jedi Survivor on your brain.
But it's the Night Sisters.
I know. Yeah.
So we see Morgan.
Morgan's
mum fighting Grievous.
Yeah.
Hand to hand with her glowing sickles.
Yeah.
And she's doing quite a good job. She's defending herself.
Because she sort of like says a spell to them, and then they start glowing
like fire.
It's like blue fire.
Yeah.
And then she's there.
And she's doing all right, but then sort of she locks sickles with Grievous's 2 lightsabers,
And obviously,
and then
he's
his
got 4 arms.
one
Isn't
his extra sort of arms like bzz,
he? Yep. Gets a-
takes her by surprise. But then we see this really brutal thing, like we don't see it, but we hear it, and he basically slashes her in like 3 pieces because he's just like, bzz,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh my god. And
Brutal.
Morgan watched this.
And also, you can like hear his laugh in the distance. It's just
Like,
like
she's haunted by his laugh.
he's just there, like.
He's like, ha, ha. And I think he even like looks at Morgan afterwards. He's like, run, like
Yeah.
to like almost like play sport in like, you know. And he's evil, and
He's so evil, and I think we've never really seen like a Grievous in this sort of, I don't know, like menacing way before. Like obviously he is menacing in the Clone Wars, and in Revenge of Sith, but this is almost like an evil side of him that we've not really explored before because it's just been.
Yeah, we've seen him take out the occasional Jedi in the Clone
But the
Wars.
fact for him to kill someone and like physically laugh about it, it's just like, oh my god.
He's evil.
He's not very nice, is he?
No, but I think he was very well done in this
Yeah.
series, and they showed how just dark he was, you know, and
I
how
think-
much of a, you know, you look at some of the episodes in the Clone Wars, you're like, how have the Jedi not killed him yet?
Yeah.
But you see in this episode, this is why.
Yeah.
You know.
Like he is powerful. And
Yeah.
I think, you know, everyone's used to fighting or like training to fight with someone with 2 arms because it's like, right, every human and most aliens are gonna have 2 arms. And like,
But this is where he
You know.
catches you off guard
but
because
this is where he's got his 4 arms, and then
he only had 2 arms out and had 2 armed lightsabers in his
and
hand.
then all of a sudden he just like transforms and just.
He just brings out another one and takes,
Yeah.
you know, and while you're carried away,
Yeah.
like defending yourself, he uses a cheap tactic and stabs you.
Yeah.
So we see Morgan running. She goes and hides up a tree, and we see very interestingly that we see that we see a clone, like one of the specialist droids, like commando droids, like stop and like she's hiding up in a tree while all the others ran off.
Yeah.
So we see a bit of intelligence from the commando droids, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, because I feel like, I think because the clones are so like intelligent and smart, and they're, you know, the droids are depicted in the Clone Wars and the prequels as they're just easy to kill. They're just dumb, and especially the B ones.
They're almost a
they're-
bit comical now, aren't
Yeah, they're very dumb. Whereas the commando ones, I think, possibly a little bit smarter. And it's like, I don't know, like this group isn't as easy as what you think.
they? Yeah, exactly. I like the perspective of seeing the clone commando droids, which were bloody dangerous. You know, they were quite skilled, you know, with their sort of movability, but then for one of them to be like stop and be like,
Yeah.
she's up that tree. Like,
Yeah, it's
well,
like they don't have the Force. How on earth did he know that she was up there? Like, I
so
don't know.
very clever. And then obviously we see a little tussle, and
I think
Morgan
they're
gets
learning different tactics. Is the thing.
yeah, and then we see her sort of collapse in the dirt, and just sort of almost like she's dead, but she's not.
Yeah.
And we see that she gets found by the Mountain Sisters.
Yeah.
Who?
The Mountain Clan.
Yeah, they're like, so basically this Mountain Clan, which I had no idea about until this episode.
No.
They are basically witches,
But
but
they're
they
different.
do the light side.
Mm.
So whereas you got the Night Sisters who use the dark side and use their magic that way,
Mm.
the Mountain Tribe sort of
Do a light side.
keep out of the way and use the light side of the Force. And so we see that she's been taken in by them. Morgan looks over the battle of where all her Night Sisters have been slain, basically.
Yeah.
All her markings like disappear, which I thought was interesting. But we can still see that she wants to get revenge. Like, she is fueled by anger now.
Yeah.
And we see that she has been given this chance to join the Mountain Sisters, but she sort of talks some of the others into fighting, fighting with her to get revenge, and she takes them to a hideout where they like a weapons cache.
Yeah.
But they get found by the droids. And in the aftermath, one of the Mountain sort of sisters, she dies. But then we see the mother appear through like a blue portal.
Yeah.
And then just like uses basically like the white light to get rid of the droids and that.
Yeah. And we see how powerful they are, like even though they're using the light side. Very powerful. Also, one thing I thought I'd mention. The graphics, the scenery looks so real. Like, look at all this, and also it's like very much what's it called, Jedi Fallen Order, because obviously in that game you go through Dathomir, and all the mountain faces and stuff is spot on to how it was in the game and the shows.
So they have worked together in different media to help create, this series.
Yeah.
So then basically we see the mother basically say to Morgan, "You're on a different path to us. Like, your path is set elsewhere," sort of thing. So end of the first episode again. I think it was a really good start. I thought the Grievous bit was incredible. I thought the Night Sisters taking on the droids and that I thought was really good. So, yeah, really good start to the episode.
Yeah.
So I come back to that. So second episode, we have Morgan as like a magistrate.
Yeah.
So this is now during the Empire.
Jump,
yeah. So this is like during the Empire time. We see she's at a meeting. I think it's on Coruscant, like on a Star Destroyer on Coruscant, and we see that she's talking about the TIE Defenders, which by the looks of it was her idea for the TIE Defender, and the greedy Imperials are like, "We're not interested in your TIE Defender. We're interested in your planet's like resources and stuff like that."
Yeah.
Then, just as she's sort of like about to leave the meeting, Captain Pelion turns up and is like, "What are you fighting? What are you fighting for? What do you want?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, the glory of the Empire."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay." And then leaves. And then we see her back on Corvus and see that there's a bit of unrest between her and the town folk.
Yeah.
She's like, they're like, "How did it go?" sort of thing. And she was like, "Well, not great," sort of thing. They were like, "Yeah, but you promised us jobs," and all stuff like that. So, it's not already the people don't really like her. But anyway, so then we see that she gets attacked by a very familiar face in Rook.
So he's from Star Wars Rebels.
Yes, and he was in, again, I think he was in the Heir to the Empire novel, like the Legends version. Yeah. And but we see him in Clone Wars animation again, looks so much better than Rebels animation because it's more detailed. And we see Morgan with her Beskar spear.
Yeah. The noise is exactly the same as the best guy in the Mandalorian.
Definitely. And in fairness to Morgan, she's able to best Rook,
Mhm.
which I thought was quite impressive, to be honest, because we see Rook going up against the Ghost Squad in Rebels, and apparently he is voiced by Warwick Davis, who also voiced him in Rebels as well.
That's cool.
So I don't think he actually says much in this,
No.
but it's cool to see. And then we see Captain Pelion being like, "Well done, Morgan. We just wanted to make sure that you could handle yourself."
Yeah.
And then we see...
And she's like, "You're testing me?"
Yes. And then we see Admiral Thrawn, not Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yes.
We get Admiral Thrawn here. And it's quite interesting seeing him with the, like...
Clone Wars animation.
Yeah, but also with the, like, Admiral armor, not the white uniform that we're so used to seeing him in.
Seeing him in the dark.
He's like in the Imperial Officer Grey, and it's like, it's not right. He needs to be in the white.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see that, like, he's taken an interest in her TIE defenders, and she asks him, like, he asks her again, he's like, "Now, don't lie to me this time. What do you really want?" And she's like, "Revenge for the people who destroyed my family and stuff."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Welcome to the Empire," basically. And that's how their sort of friendship started, really. I love this photo as well.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Welcome to the Empire," and then it's like the 3 Star Destroyers sort of approaching them. So I was like, "Oh, that's a really cool photo." I love that one. Maybe fun though.
Yeah.
So that was basically episode 2. Episode 3, we get another time jump to after the Empire has fallen.
Yeah.
And before the episode on Mandalore, in the Mandalorian, sorry.
Yeah, because she literally looks exactly the same.
Yeah, and she's got like a best outfit. She's got like a robe over like her red outfit. Looks a bit more, should we say, regal.
Yeah, she's like magistrate.
She's basically taken complete control of this system and town, basically keeping them in slavery, basically to work for her.
Yeah.
With little pay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we see that the New Republic turn up, which is led by a former, should we say, resident of Corvus. And yeah, she's like, here, and again, showing what the New Republic was trying to be and being like, look, the Empire's gone. We're not the Empire. We're not a dictatorship. Yeah. We are a free republic, basically. We want you to surrender, basically. Yeah. And we can sort out and want you to join the New Republic. Morgan is just like, no, don't want that. And I love this shot as well that we're showing here where they're sort of face to face, but it's like the shot with in Mandalorian with Ahsoka. Yeah. And it's literally like mirrored, and I'd like to get maybe next episode or something, we'll get like a comparison. Yeah. To be like, there's this image and then the one of
with her and Ahsoka.
And see how detailed it is.
Yeah. I think also, like, this episode, I mean, obviously before we seen Mandalorian with Ahsoka and her and Ahsoka's like going, where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? We're like, who is this lady and why does she know Grand Admiral Thrawn? Like, we know of Thrawn from Rebels, but like, why does she know her? But, this and Ahsoka, like, we've now found out how she got to be like connected with Thrawn, and Ahsoka's found out that somehow. So it all kind of is making sense now.
Yep. So she basically is like, I'm not joining the New Republic. I'm not surrendering. Kill them all, basically.
Yeah.
So her mercenaries and HK assassin droids that she has in Ahsoka basically take out all the New Republic.
Yeah.
And I can't remember her name, but the sort of leader here almost makes it back to her ship.
Yep.
And her friend sort of comes over to her and she's like, hope, like, don't give up hope.
Yeah.
And she goes to give him the
The
comlink, and it's flashing like white.
Mm.
And then it falls on the floor and we hear a voice being like, hello, I got your distress signal. What's the problem? Where are you? And then Morgan, I think she stabs it with the Beskar spear, or she stands on it, but she destroys it. And she's like, no hope is coming.
Yeah.
And she's like, my world has been burning since the start. Every world will burn or something, you know. And we see this wonderful shot of her with the fire. But you picked out a really interesting thing with the comlink.
The voice.
Yeah.
Is Katie Sackhoff, which is Bo-Katan, which it all makes sense now because it's like, right, Mando was like, where can I find a Jedi? He went to Bo-Katan. She's there like, go to the planet Corvus and you'll see Ahsoka Tano. So it's like, we have this idea now of like, Ahsoka's probably gone to this planet after and like told Ahsoka that this Morgan Elsbeth is here and she's connected with Thrawn and all that. And then Ahsoka's gone there, and then that's how Mando like went there to meet with her because she was a Jedi, and it's all like
connected.
Yeah.
And we also see as well that she sends her men out to burn the sort of forest.
Yeah.
So when you see the sort of forest in the Mando episode, all the trees are like gone, it's all like burnt out, and it's all like quite a dark place because it used to be quite green and you know, light, but now it's all dark and gloomy.
All because of her.
Yep.
I don't really like her, I'm not gonna lie.
So
then we're on to the Barris episodes.
Yes. So we start off with Barris sort of seeming to have like some nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is connected to all the Jedi at the temple.
Yeah.
Like some of the characters, you know, like we've seen other Jedi do.
Yeah.
And she's like, sits up and is like, ugh. And then she looks out the window to her cell and sees the temple's on fire.
I couldn't actually find a picture of that, but
yes, she's like, guards, what's going on? And then these two Coruscant guards are there, and they're like, just be glad you're not a Jedi anymore. Yeah. It's like, ooh. Nice to see Coruscant Guard again, by the way.
Yeah, they look very cool.
And then we see this person walking in here who's we now know as the fourth sister.
Yeah.
But she's called Lynn.
Yeah. So we first seen her in Kenobi.
Yes. And we see Barris be like, Lynn, as the High Council. Is there word from the High Council? Why have they sent you? Sort of thing.
She used to be a Jedi as well.
Yes. And she's like, no, the Jedi are traitors. They just tried to kill the Chancellor.
Yeah.
I'm offering you a chance, sort of thing. So they then go to Fortress Inquisitorius. I love that name. I'm so glad I get to say that name again. On the moon of Mustafar.
Yeah.
And we see that it's actually not finished. It's in construction at the minute, which I think is really cool because, you know, you wouldn't expect that thing to already be built by the time. So it's nice seeing that it's being built. She sort of gets put in a room with like two other former Jedi. And they then sort of... Oh, no, sorry. She goes into a room with the two other Jedi and the Grand Inquisitor. And he's like, the Jedi are no more, basically. You've got a choice to join this empire and serve it good.
Yeah.
And basically, they then go back to their their room.
Yeah.
And one of them's like, I'm just going to go explore, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
So then the next day, they walk into a room and the Grand Inquisitor's like, I told him not to leave. And then sort of chucks his kyber crystal as like headpiece bit.
So they're like,
okay, maybe not. And then...
So it's between Barris and this one other person.
Yes, Duncan, I think his name is. So Lynn takes Duncan to train, and the Grand Inquisitor takes Barris. Now, I was wrong. I was thinking that the lightsaber was gonna actually be Luminara's, but it turns out just to be a green lightsaber. And the Grand Inquisitor is like, attack me. And he just doesn't move, just lets her attack, and then he like hits her in the face, and she starts getting a little bit more angry, goes for him again, and then he basically forces her up into the ceiling. She falls and she's got like blood coming down. Then we see her angry, and she force pushes the Inquisitor. And I thought that was quite cool because we don't often see the Inquisitor get like hit. And he was like,
he was a bit taken back there, and he was like, "Oh,
okay." And then so
because he's sort of trying to tell her to like engage in her anger.
Don't fight as a Jedi.
Yeah.
You're not a Jedi no more, basically.
Yeah, because she starts off being like, "But you're not armed. Like, why should I fight you?" But yeah, he's like, interact with her anger, and she definitely did at that point.
Yeah.
Because she's like, "You've made my nose bleed."
Yes, and then we basically get this really cool scene where her and Duncan get put into this like almost fighting arena with a hole in the middle, and one lightsaber with like this red ring that's slowly closing, and he's like, either die as a Jedi or like fight and join us, sort of thing. And Barriss doesn't want to fight at first. He's like, no, we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
And Duncan is full on like, no, I don't want to. Yeah. I want. Anyway, Barriss is about to get slain, but then she channels the dark side, and she like force chokes him. He's like, and then he falls down the hole with the lightsaber. Yeah. And Barriss we next see her with walking into a room with the first brother, Marok, fourth sister, herself, and the Grand Inquisitor. Yeah. And the Grand Inquisitor's like, meet your new master. And we get the iconic like Vader.
Oh yeah, this is it. So we got the guy from the first brother from Tales of the Jedi, Marok from Ahsoka. Here's Barriss, and then
fourth sister. So we get that, and we see Vader sort of sit down,
master,
and they all say like, "What you doing? What you doing? Whoa, calm down."
Sorry, I thought there might be a picture of Vader.
Calm down. So then we get them sort of all kneel, and sort of Barriss looks up to see Vader, but we don't get this that she recognizes him or he recognizes her. Which in a way is good because it's like we know that she wouldn't know who Anakin is, or she wouldn't have survived. Yeah. And Anakin at this point probably doesn't care who she is,
No, I don't think so.
He's probably consumed with rage and anger, and like he's not thinking of Ahsoka or Barriss. No. And then she puts her Inquisitor mask on, and was like, for the Empire. So yes, she has become an Inquisitor. Now we don't know what her designation was, like fourth sister or
fifth sister. I don't know.
Second cousin. We don't know, but so that's episode 1. Again, I really enjoyed it. I liked what they did with Barriss.
I think her helmet does look quite cool.
Yeah. So then in the second episode, we see her and fourth sister flying off to this planet where they've had intel that there's like
a
Jedi out there. Yeah. So we also get we immediately see that she is having doubts about being an Inquisitor, because she's like, is it real? Like she says to fourth sister, like, is there really Jedi involvement here? Stuff like this.
Yeah.
So they enter this town, which is being completely bonfire, and Barriss is like, "Why have we done this?" And she's like, well, when you sort of serve the Empire, then you'll be allowed to flourish. Like once you fully accept it and support it, then you'll be allowed to like grow and prosper.
Yeah.
So they enter this small little like bar, and Four Sisters like, where is the Jedi? And they're like, there's no Jedi here. But then Barriss, being sort of still having the compassion, she notices
a little child.
Yeah, and he's like quite scared, and she goes over and she's like,
you any Jedi?
And she's like, don't worry, you can tell me. Like,
yeah, and he's still scared. So then she takes off her mask, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna.
Is that better?
Show my face. You know, you can talk to me like I'm your friend, kind of thing. And then he tells her they're hiding in the mountains.
So he's like, okay. So she puts the mask back on. She's like, they're in the mountains. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then Fourth Sister like blocks off the entrance, and she's like,
she starts going on. Okay,
you were harboring a traitor. You will be dealt with. And then she just massacres the bar, basically. It's like, oh my god.
And Barriss is just there like, we got the information we needed. What is the need for all of this?
Yeah. And the only one that survives is the little kid.
I know.
And it's like,
and he sort of like goes over to Barriss and is like hugging her. And he's so scared, bless him.
Yeah. He goes to turn and she hides his face with her helmet,
like,
I think.
Don't look back.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him.
So then, we see them sort of climb this mountain up to where the Jedi is.
Yeah.
We see Fourth Sister battling the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jedi actually beats the Fourth Sister because we see her like getting sort of knocked out. So Barriss then fights the Jedi, but it's like, we're not going to hurt you. Just surrender.
Yeah.
Like, join us almost, you know. And the Jedi was actually like, he puts his lightsaber down. He's like, she's been like, you've been running for too long. And he's like, I'm tired. I don't want to run anymore. Like,
yeah.
And then as he was basically surrendering, the Fourth Sister just stabs him in the back. It's like,
ignites a lightsaber and kills him.
Yeah.
And it's like, great.
And then Barriss was like, why did you do that? He was about to surrender, like he was surrendering.
Yeah.
And she was like,
I mean, he's not quite dead yet, but then I think Barriss is like, we need to take him back to the ship. Like, this is not okay.
Yes, no, you're right. And then Barriss's Fourth Sister's like, leave him to die. He's a traitor, and all Jedi die or something.
Mm.
And then Barriss finally turns back to the like,
ground.
And she's like, there's one Jedi left still. And she basically just pushes the Fourth Sister off the cliff, like, bloody hell.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. This one I thought was quite good, quite steady paced.
Yeah.
I thought. And then we get the
final time jump.
Yeah. Well, it is a bit of a time jump, but it's also
along the same story.
Yes. But it's not as long as we think. Basically, we see this ice planet, and there's this family looking for the healer, that is called, and they come across this cute little mole.
Yeah.
He's cute.
I should have got a picture of the mole.
he's not a Ben cute, but, he's cute.
Yeah.
Shout out to little Ben. I'm gonna miss talking about it.
Oh, Ben in season 3 of Bad Batch. He was so cute.
So this little mole leads them to the healer, and as you could guess, the healer is Barriss. She's cut her hair. She's like got it short.
And she's older. She's got wrinkles.
Now, I did see a video which talked about why she looks so much older when the Fourth Sister that we see later looks no change.
Yeah.
Basically, from what we can see in the episode, Barriss has become a full-on Force, has basically become not so like a Jedi, but like a Jedi healer. So she doesn't fight anymore, but she basically uses the Force and her life essence to heal people who are dying and stuff like that. So like we see in The Rise of Skywalker when Rey like heals the animal, and then like Ben as well.
Yeah.
We see that.
I think I thought it might be like her species. Maybe because like the Yoda species, they age a lot different to like human and stuff.
But yeah, so a lot of people. The thing that I saw was basically she'd been using too much of her life essence, which has, made her look older than she actually is. But so basically, tells this family with this child who are running from the Empire. Look, they're like, "Oh, is my kid a Jedi?" And she was like, "If he was born a couple of years ago, he would have been brought to the Order and trained like I was as a Jedi."
Because she sort of talks about her own experience, because they're like, the Empire are looking for him, like apparently he's, special, and she's like, I've heard of such stories. I myself was taken from my parents and trained to be a Jedi because I had like sort of Force abilities.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so but then she gets this feeling that something's coming. And then we sort of see her run or tell the mole and the family to like get in the speeder. The coordinates are not already in the ship, and that they're sending her, or she's sending them to her old friend.
Mm-hmm.
Now we don't know who this person is, but I think it someday will get revealed. I reckon they wouldn't drop a line like that and just not do anything with it. But yeah, so we see that the person is the fourth sister, and she's actually come after the kid, not Barriss, which I thought was quite interesting.
And she says something like, when I was looking for you, I couldn't find you, but now I'm not looking for you. I end up finding you. Because,
typical.
You're out here.
Yeah. But then she's like, look, I'm not going to fight you. You don't have to do this. There's, basically you're still good. And then she does this, like, and the fourth sister attacks her, but she just has her arms behind her back, just like dodging, like not getting hit. You just, just not fighting back. She's she is a full on healer, shall we say. And then Lynn, or the fourth sister, chases the family into the cave.
Yeah.
And
the mole's like helping the family escape.
Yeah, which is cute. And then we see that like it's a bit of a maze, and the fourth sister gets lost.
Yeah.
And Barriss starts talking to her, like you know the way out. You just have to like let go, basically. And then surprisingly, she ends up turning around and stabbing Barriss. It's like, oh my god, didn't see that coming.
No.
And the first thing Barriss says is like, I forgive you, Lynn. Like,
yeah.
And Lynn's like, no, sort of like she then becomes back to the light, which is quite nice. And so we see
it's one of those things like, she's done it, but after she's like completely regretted.
Yeah, it's like acceptance. It's like no.
Yeah.
And then she carries her out of the cave. Basically, Barriss is now gone because you see that like she's not any cold breath coming from her anymore. So it's like Barriss is gone. We see her carry her out of the cave, and it's like she was able to bring the fourth sister back to the light. That's why we don't see her again after Kenobi.
Yeah.
Which I think is quite interesting. So yeah, that's Tales of the Empire for you.
Yeah.
Very good. I think it was quite good. I know a lot of fans are a bit like, it was alright, it wasn't special.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't enjoy it as much. I mean, I would say I preferred like the Bad Batch and stuff, but this is like a different story. It's a different part of Star Wars.
They're literally just filling in some gaps of some characters.
It answered a lot of questions we had.
Yeah.
Like I said, with the Morgan Elsbeth and Ahsoka, like when she goes, where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? Like we know a bit of backstory to that, like how Morgan met Thrawn.
Yeah, we also see Barris's full sort of character arc.
Yeah, we knew that Barriss knew Marok and the first brother and
Yep.
the fourth sister. Like, we know all this now, and we know that Barriss did turn into an Inquisitor.
Because we see her in the background in like Attack of the Clones, but then she had a little bit of an arc, quite a big important arc in the Clone Wars where she became friends with Ahsoka, then she framed Ahsoka, and then we were like, what happened to her afterwards?
Yeah.
Now we know what happened to Barriss, and
yeah.
Again, we might see more of her. I don't know, but
yeah, I think a lot of people wanted to see a bit more of Barriss. When all of the theories were coming out for who is Marok, and like lots of people were saying, is Marok Barriss? But we didn't end up finding out who Marok was.
The image of like Barriss and Marok next to each other, I think, is like Dave Filoni as like a little joke at the fandom, being like, this is just proving to you that she isn't Marok.
No, yeah. Because people are still like, was she like reincarnated?
No.
Was she a Night Witch?
No, they're two different people.
Yeah. It would have been nice to see kind of like who Marok was, give him a bit of a backstory as well. But, I think there's always time. There's always more series, more episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
More games and everything where they could explain other things. So I think, it was good.
Yeah. Troopers of the Week.
Yes. I actually have a really fun one.
Oh, I'll let you go first then.
Let me just find it. It's just disappeared. So basically, it's someone that restores old posters. So do you know, like, when you fold up posters and they get all like creased and they have like the white lines? I'll show you guys. Let me just close this one. Playing music. So she has this Star Wars poster, and sorry, I didn't mention the name. It's called Fourth Cone on Instagram. So this Star Wars poster was been signed by Alec Guinness and Mark Hamill, and where it's been folded, there's like little lines, and basically she uses like colored pencils to fill in all of the like folds from where it's been like in storage, and then at the end it's like basically a new poster. She like color matches it with all these color pencils. This is a start. You see all these like fold lines. So she colors it all in, and then it looks like a brand new poster, and she like flattens it all out and frames it and everything.
That's very cool.
And I think she like does like commissions on it and stuff. So people will like send her old posters that they have in their collection, and then she'll like restore them. But it's very cool, like especially if they're signed and stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
You want to display that, and if it's got creases in it, you want to like make it all
get rid of them.
Yeah,
I like it.
So I thought that was very cool. So
very interesting.
Fourth Cone on Instagram.
Go check them out. Cool. So mine is a trooper that we just started following. He has a very good Enoch cosplay. So his name is _Peter.Hensley. You might have seen him on Insta and stuff. He has this very cool looking Enoch, and I just really like it. I think he looks very cool, and I'd like to probably get an Enoch on there at some point, because I'd like to see their work. So yeah,
I want to know how they do like the gold. Is it like is it like a powder? Is it like a foil, like a gold foil? I don't know.
There's lots of questions.
How do they do it?
Yeah. So Peter Hensley, my trooper of the week. Now, meme of the week. I saw this one and I thought this was quite relevant because
the 25th Phantom Menace anniversary.
And I experienced this very recently. When you crack a Pringle in two and it falls back into the can. A little bit on the brutal side.
Darth Maul cut in half. and falling into the tunnel. Yeah, this is very relevant and very funny.
Yes.
And
And very annoying when it happens.
Yeah, because you're like, yeah, let's get a Pringle, but
Oh, no.
it's always like someone that's dropped it in the shop or something, and you end up with like a Pringle pack where like half of them are cracked in half.
Yep. So yeah, that is it for this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed our Tales of the Empire. Yeah, and we'll be back next week. We're probably, like I said, the aim is probably going to be doing a High Republic era, so that should be a really good one. So if you want to know all High Republic before the Acolyte, I recommend joining us next week. Yeah, there will definitely be spoilers for the High Republic era, and some of the games as well, like Jedi Survivor, because that connects with the High Republic. So yeah, we will see you there, troopers.